Hello, tiny friends. Welcome back to Tiny Keyhole Minis. I'm Jolene, and this is day 4 of 12 days of a vintage Christmas, where each day I'm putting together a piece of this free printable. You can find a link to this free printable in the description box below, and if you've missed any previous days, you can click the link in the description box below to the playlist. So, grab yourself a cup of Christmas cheer because day 4 is here. I want to thank all my subscribers and welcome to all my new subscribers. Whether you've been following along with this Christmas special and you're returning or you're just joining in, either way, I want to thank you for joining me while I create 12 days of a vintage Christmas. So today I'm going to put together one of these boxes for a Christmas decoration. And I'm also going to work on a Christmas miniature that I previously had for a while now. So today is poinsettias. Okay, so today I'm going to begin with a poinsettia decoration piece. I can't remember if this came from a floral stem or an actual ornament, but I had it in my stash, and it has these red velvety leaves to them. So I just pulled off a leaf, and now I'm creating smaller leaf shapes. And I think I'm going to need 8 of these. So I'm just cutting the shapes. And I'm going to use my fabric tack glue for this today. Okay, I'm going to apply a small amount of fabric tack right on the pointy tip of this little leaf. And then I'm just going to pinch that part closed. And I'm just going to hold it for a few seconds until it catches. The ends are a bit too long, so I'm just snipping them down just a little bit. I'm still going to cut the ends at a point because I don't want a straight, flat cut going straight across. Once all my little pieces are trimmed down, I'm going to take my fabric tack and start to put these pieces together, and I'm going to do 4 at a time. So I'm picking out the larger pieces and I'm going to kind of make like an X. So I'm going to choose which ends I want to go towards the center and glue that part. They're all going to be glued together towards the center of the flower. I laid the flower on my finger because I thought it would be easier to glue the smaller pieces into place. But then I just glued the flower to my finger. So when I went to pull it off, it all pulled apart. So don't do that. The best way I could fix this was to take another piece of the same fabric and just cut like a little circle shape. And then I began to glue each piece to the circle shape. This way I had some sort of platform to glue the pieces on, and I knew they would all stay together a little better. As I'm gluing these down, I'm taking the smaller pieces and I'm just gluing them in between the larger pieces. So it's 4 larger pieces that look like an X, and then 4 smaller pieces that go around and fill in those spaces. This decoration piece originally had a bundle of little gold glitter pieces for the center of the poinsettia. So I've just taken them apart, and now I'm using one to fill in the center of this miniature poinsettia. Okay, I have a few boxes here, and I really want to use this one. It has a tiny little square window. So I'm going to have to see if this poinsettia will actually fit inside this box. But I'm going to give all 3 a try. But I really do, I think I'm just going to use this box right here. And I'll just cut down the poinsettia because it is a little too large. But I'm just so determined to put it in this little box. It just looks like a little poinsettia box. So I'm trimming it down some. Okay, the poinsettia fits, but you really can't tell that it's a poinsettia in there. But if I choose to display the box with the lid partially open, you'd be able to tell. Okay, so there it is, a miniature box with a poinsettia. So now I have these two poinsettia plants that I actually have had for a while now, and they were glued to the package, which I thought was strange, but they just have paper planters right now. I'm gonna give them new planters. They're also a little flat. They just need some TLC. I'm going to switch out the planters with these old baskets. I'm just going to cut the handles off.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Okay, so I have a few different sizes of these baskets, and right now I'm just playing around to see which size looks best, and I believe it's going to be this one. So I need to find another one that size. Right now I'm just going to fluff out the plant. All the leaves are flat and the poinsettias are kind of close, squished together. So this is what it looks like before. And now it's nice and full. These are just made of paper. Okay, I did find a second basket. It's a little wonky on the bottom and it sits a little uneven, but I think with a little bit of museum wax, if I just set it on the side that is a little bit higher right here, I think it'll balance out a little better and I don't think it'll be too noticeable. But it doesn't really matter because everything in the Josephine house is pretty old. I'm going to take these two colors and dry brush the baskets to give them a little more dimension and detail. Okay, now that the baskets are dried, I'm going to take some of this floral foam and I'm just going to cut a piece and put it inside each basket. So I'm just going to take this little square piece and cut it right in half and see if it fits. I'm going to use some tacky glue and just place them on the bottom and glue it to the bottom of the basket. Now I'm going to make some soil, and I'm taking my matte Mod Podge and I'm just pouring some in this container, and I'm going to add some coffee. This is just fresh ground coffee. And I'm going to mix the two together, and I'm looking for a little bit of a thicker consistency. Well, I like my soil to be a little bit thicker. It dries a little quicker as well. So I'm just going to mix it up really good and it'll start to thicken up a bit. Once it's nice and thick and chunky, I'm going to apply some right to the top of the baskets. And I'm also going to take my toothpick and just poke it around a bit so that it's not flat and smooth. While it's still wet, I'm just going to poke the poinsettia plant right inside the foam. And now I'm just going to make some adjustments and fluff it out while the Mod Podge soil is still wet. This little piece fell off, so I'm just going to glue it back into place. Okay, tiny friends, that is it for day 4. There you have your miniature poinsettias. And they're so adorable, but I'm going to have to age them just a little bit. I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you have, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and let me know what you thought in the comments below. Come back and see me for day 5 to see what I create next. Until then, tiny friends, have a lovely holiday, and I'll see you on the mini side.